This is Jimmy.
Nuclear launch detected.
Right on.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War. It's remastered. You know that. We're in Eclipse. It is Flash. It is best. It is a Patreon cast. For those of you who are supporting me on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $1 a month, you know who you are. I love you. Top right of Eclipse. It is a Teal Terran player. It is Flash. Bottom left of Protoss, it is best. We have Effort watching. We have Soul Key watching. He came into the match as Protoss. Does that mean something? No, because Effort also did. So it's going to be a PvT again here on Eclipse from RJB. Looking forward to it. Man, hit that subscribe button if you're excited to see a PvT featuring Best and Flash. Tastosis says that Best is the most excellent Protoss player at breaking tank lines with, you know, tanks and widow mines or spider mines and vultures and all that stuff. Yo, so we should see how he breaks Flash's tank lines in this game. Scouting out here is PD the Probe. Is it going to be a Nexus first on a two-player map against Flash? No, I don't think so. I think Best is smarter than that, man. SSL2 is around the corner if you're watching this the week of March the 6th. And if you are, you're a patron of mine. And again, I love you and appreciate you. And if you're watching this on, I don't know, late March 2025 or later, maybe SSL2 is in full swing or maybe it's over. We got a gateway coming up. No Nexus first here. Barracks coming up. And a gas steal, which means it's going to be Zealots. Maybe 2-gate Zealot opening here from Best. Flash says, all right, man. I've handled this so many times. Just go home. Just go home. You can't get any damage with Zealots against me. There we go. We got ourselves an assimilator. Cybernetics core on the way here and then expanding. It's not a 2-gate because there is gas. Just one Zealot marching across the map at a time. Just got back from watching Good Will Hunting with my little brother, who is, I want to say, 24, 25 years old at this point, and he does not watch a lot of movies. He grew up in the same house that I did, and movies like higher than PG rating, my parents were not approving of. So, Good Will Hunting it is. We've watched Die Hard, we have watched Cabin in the Woods, and Good Will Hunting, man, it is still so very, very excellent, 30 plus years after it came out. And I want to say 97, so not quite 30 years, but man, Robin Williams, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck as young actors, they wrote the script and just basically tried to get the movie made for like several years. And then it did, and it won Oscars, and bam, that launched Matt Damon's and Ben Affleck's careers. A little bit of movie history there. A simulator being burned down by 4 SCVs and 2 Marines here. That shows you how important it is to Flash to get his gas up and running here. Expanding before gas. Singularity charge on the way. Bunker? Yes, bunker. Because long-range Dragoons are in your future here. What on? And if you're watching this in the future where SSL2 has already begun, is Flash there? Let me know with the comment, and I will read it in the past. Okay. So, I don't have that power, but I think it would be funny. If you let me know if Flash is competing in SSL2, or if his injuries prevent him from doing so, which would be sad. Did Soul Key win? Is he looking good? Is he attaining Bonjour status? RJB says the Korean StarCraft community will not acknowledge any future Bonjours after Flash became a Bonjour. They say that Flash is the best Bonjour of all time and the last Bonjour of all time, and they will not recognize anybody else that achieves Bonjour status. So I think that's narrow-minded, because man, Soul Key these days, wow. He is playing better than anybody I have seen other than Flash. So just let him in. Let him into the Bonjour Club, man. He won 2 ASLs, and then they rebranded SSL in a row. 3 of them in a row, and a 4th one he's going to be challenging for. So I feel like he's a Bonjour already, but man, if he wins four highest tournament in the land championships against the best StarCraft the player base can offer, Bonjour status cemented, in my opinion. Hey, look, Best says, ba-bam. Ba-bam. I'm going to go ahead and take down your bunker. No, say the SCVs. We need to repair it. Finally, expanding here is Best. So, draining off lost mining time and minerals here for the repair to make up for the fact that we are not expanding yet, even. Come on, man. You've got 25 workers to 36 SCVs. Flash is so far ahead at this point. Engineering bay. 5 against 4? Just 4 SCVs versus 4 Dragoons, but hey, he knew that this is going to be a parade of Dragoons, and he did bust it. What? I thought everything was okay. Oh no, we busted the bunker? Dude, how? Flash lost concentration. Ugh. And as you know, if you heal and repair something up to full health, then they stop repairing because their job is done. Hurry, siege up the siege tank. Go! Siege it up, and you have to go ahead and re-repair. Oh my gosh. The second base. No SCVs. Running with this command center. 27 SCVs to 29 probes now. That was so far ahead in SCV count, Flash. Dude, one momentary lapse. Best is expanding behind this, and you are on one base. That is how fast you can go from winning a game to losing a game in StarCraft. I cannot believe that. I have not seen a bunker busted in a TVP for such a long time. RJB sent me this replay and said, yo, you need to cast this. And he was right. I cannot believe it. So double expanding behind that is Best. And now he's ahead. 32 to 27. Tanks down. SCVs down. I just can't believe it here. Investing in missile turrets with no DTs and no shuttles. Just blind investing. Okay, 1 missile turret. I guess that's not a big deal. Okay, 2 missile turrets. Investing into those 2 missile turrets when there was not a robotics facility done yet, and there was not a citadel done yet. That's it. Just wasted minerals here. Oh, so what's the tank count here? 5. 5 siege tanks here at 750. Taking down the bunker at the top of the ramp, which was helpful to make sure the Dragoons did not get into the main base, which would have been game over. Oh, pylon block in the 3rd base here is Best. Yo, excellent job. Got ourselves an observatory for spider mines, which is being researched here, as well as vulture speed. What's the follow-up here, Best? Just mass Dragoon? I kinda like it. But if you had speed lots here, I think it would be better. So Citadel is being warped in now. We've got ourselves a forge as well. Working on those upgrades. Dude, that was amazing. Again, bunker busting Flash. Best is on such a high right now. He's like, hi, bunker busted Flash. Who else has done that, huh? Maybe Bisu. Maybe Snow. But the list is short, and I'm on it now. Maybe he was already on it, right? Best is an excellent, excellent Protoss player. Starport coming up. Another factory here. So we've got 3 factories here on 2 bases, working on +1 vehicle weapons, denying these vultures. Another attempt at cracking through this pylon wall, which they cannot do unless they have +3 in an equal and excellent amount of time. You know, back to Good Will Hunting real quick. So Robin Williams plays the therapist, and he's got a lot of pain in his life, right? He lost his wife to cancer. he didn't quite live up to the expectations that others had for him, and I think that kind of hurts him too. And there's just always kind of a lot of pain in Robin Williams' eyes in Good Will Hunting. And I think, honestly, a lot of people watched that movie and they were like, dude, Robin Williams is really acting his face off right now. He's such a happy guy. For him to play this guy with his depth of pain in his soul, what an incredible performance. But you know what? It was there the whole time. Right? It was there the whole time. Robin Williams had this struggle with depression. He had a struggle with sadness. He ended up being diagnosed, I think, with early onset Alzheimer's. Like, there was a ton of pain in Robin Williams' lives, and he worked to make everybody else happy through his humor and his performance and his acting capabilities. But I think the pain was there the whole time. I think maybe that was real pain. It's like Chris Farley, man. Funny man. Really, really hurting on the inside. Didn't let anybody else see it until he died. So, I don't know. It makes me wonder about the other funny people in our lives and how many of them are just masking the pain that they feel all the time. It makes me sad. Robin Williams, we miss you, and I wish we had understood what was going on when you were here. Really do. Anyway, that's a tangent. Fourth base coming up the left side here from Best. Third base still not happening from Flash. He's getting additional factories. 2 more coming in. Science facility is done. Science vessel out. Do we have one of those? Don't see one anywhere. That's interesting. That's really fast science facility for no science vessels yet. But at 60 to 55 workers, 150 to 93 supply. Best is macroing so hard. He's got High Templar. Storm is on the way. Looks like he's gateway manning himself to a potential victory here on Eclipse. Flash, third base, getting landed. Best supply blocked as he lost the pylon here at the third. He wasn't quite prepared for that, so he is temporarily supply blocked. And now there are shuttles. So yes, absolutely. We do want to have turrets now, so this turret's not a total waste, right? We might kill a shuttle later. Just made it too early, and that's one of the things about StarCraft is, yes, you will need something later, but if you make it way too early, it's a waste of cash. Make something you need now, rather than something you need later. It's a tricky, tricky thing to manage. More scans. Ooh, he's checked. That is a carrier checking scan. That is a, hey, is your Cybercore working on an upgrade type scan? Best is doing the thing. He's trying to break this tank line. There's high ground siege tanks. There's low ground siege tanks. Wow. Absolutely beautiful stuff here. Zealot's getting up this ramp would be really fantastic, but Storm getting up the ramp also pretty good. Dude, this third base is broken. 150 to 95 supply. Archon up, Dragoons keeping these Vultures away. SCVs fighting against Dragoons and Zealots trying to get out of here. Running for their lives, and Archon comes up. Dude, SCV count getting obliterated from Flash. His third base is in a lot of trouble. He's floating it back home. Can he fall back and hold this? He's got no tanks behind this. And he GG's out in game 1 of our sneaky twofer for the Patreon game of the week. What an incredible match there from Best. We got to go back. We got to go back and see that bunker bust. I'm sorry. I was looking away. I was making all these assumptions about there's no way that'd be busted because he's got he has extra SCVs on it. He did. He had extra SCVs. He had like 5 or 6 SCVs when there were only 4 Dragoons firing. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that means the SCVs repaired properly, repaired it fully, and then they stopped repairing because their job was done. See, this is what you want here. Now look, now he's got extra. Now it gets repaired to the top. Look at this, look at this. He's out repairing the damage of these 4 Dragoons. Then he stops repairing because he got to 350 for a second and the bunker gets busted. That's exactly what happened. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what happened. So I guess we let this game play out from here, but from there it was the end of times. Gets the third base up, gets the fourth base up, keeps macroing, enjoys his massive advantage. The third base barely gets established before the Protoss shows up and wrecks it, and Flash is done. Oh, that was so good. So let's get to game number 2, but quick plug for youtube.com/@FalconPaladinPlays, where I'm posting a lot of long play videos of video games that I play other than StarCraft. We've got Baldur's Gate 3 out there. We have Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition. We have Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I've been streaming all of these on Twitch over the last few years. I'm exporting them to a YouTube channel now. I should have done it a while ago. That's a fun, might be a little thumbnail here. Blah, blah. Anyway, check it out. Go subscribe. I'm just posting stuff out there every so often. It's not a huge commitment, but if you're ever like, no, Final Fantasy VII Original... wow, a 7-part playlist. That looks like a lot of fun with voice acting. You might be interested in that one too. Last of Us Part 2 playthroughs out there. You can watch me get eaten by zombies. How fun is that? So fun. Okay, well, next up, let's go ahead and get into the final score here, and then we'll get into the next game. But tap that like button if you enjoyed it thus far. And thanks for being a patron if you are. 61,000 to 45,000 points. Best. Getting out produced, but out killing heavily. 2-to-1 kill death ratio for a Protoss is insane. You don't see that very much. And the outspend is pretty massive too. So GG. Well done, Best. Let's get to game number 2. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 is on Shakuras Temple. Bottom left, it is Best. Top left, it is Flash. We have JYJ watching this time and Shuttle for some reason. I don't know why there are different people watching, but I guess Best is part of the clan featuring JYJ and Shuttle. So that's what they're watching this game. Yo, man, Best. I'm curious to do how you do in SSL 2, but if you're watching this in the future, then you already know, don't ya? I don't think any Protoss player can take down Sulky, because Sulky makes Snow look like a lower level player than he actually is, dude. But again, maybe Sulky fumbles. Maybe he loses in the early stages of SSL 2. I like sports. I like esports. I like regular sports. I like the NBA, the NFL. Love March Madness. That's happening soon. Looking forward to it. If you want to hear Falcon talk about stuff that is, you know, has other things to do than StarCraft, come to the live streams. I'm at twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. I'm here on YouTube as well, 5 or 6 times a week. 6 times a week, technically. But I am basically playing games. I'm playing StarCraft. We're casting pro replays out there. Ones that maybe aren't as awesome as that one was. A little bit of a lower tier, perhaps. Tier 1 goes out here. Standalone VODs, Patreon casts, Tier 1. Tier 2 is stuff that goes out on the streams, the live streams. I also talk about politics. I talk about other video games, like Half-Life 3 potentially coming out sometime before I die, which is kind of more than I expected. There's the gas timing from Flash. So he's getting that fast factory before expansion in this game too. Talking about, again, sporting events. Luka Doncic getting traded to the Lakers. Talking about the playoffs. Talking about college basketball. Talking about movies and TV shows. Invincible. Right? Mickey 17. The latest movie coming out from Parasite director Byung-Hun Woo. I'm not sure if I said that right, and I think I didn't. But anyway, I like talking about lots of stuff. I have a lot of ideas in my head. I don't just simply think about StarCraft 24/7, although it is a big part of my life, obviously. So join the live streams. If you want me to talk about something, pop in and say, Falcon, what are your thoughts on this? And I'll talk about it. I'll probably have some ideas. I'm constantly learning. I have a brain that loves to learn. And so I like getting different perspectives on things too. My politics, I try not to be partisan. I try not to be 100% in one party or in another party. I find that's boring. I like my takes to be fair. I'd like to be able to say this party's dumb when they do this, and I think this party is dumb when they do this, and this party's smart when they do this, and smart when they do this. I like to give credit where credit is due, no matter who it is. Zealot cruising up the ramp here on Shakuras Temple. This is what the SimCity is for. This placement of the barracks and the supply depot is extremely intentional. SCV comes into body block, and it's beautifully done because it's Flash. Zealot's like, fine. Fine. That's probably not happening for me. Let's not lose our lives for no reason. Singularity charge again, coming in. I've been casting some Snow recently, and he's been skipping the Singularity charge or temporarily delaying it while he expands. So that's interesting. He's like, getting that Dragoon range out, Terrans are so good at dealing with it these days. I mean, we want it eventually, but we don't need it fast. We don't need it fast. So anyway, Best would say, you know what? It was nice for me to have it fast. It's getting that bunker again. I think that's blind. Now the SCV is coming in for the scout. He scouted every other location. He sees there's not a Nexus warping in at least. He gets past the Zealot. That's beautiful. Sees the Robo this time. And sees the Cyber Core spinning. But obviously the Cyber Core spinning. Is there a Citadel? No. Okay, that's good for me. I like that. And I think his job is done. I think at this point he's not even trying to run. Yeah, he knows. He knows. So, yes, Marines inside a bunker against the Dragoons with range. Let's see if Flash can manage to not get bunker busted by accident. Oh. Or maybe he's going to move out. Maybe he's going to do a little push out with his Marine ball of no upgrades at all. No range, no stim. They're never going to get range or stim. This is unupgraded Marines we had to make because of Zealots and Dragoons. We're going to bring a tank with us. Let's try to be the one who knocks. Let's try to be the one who pressures now. Man, that range on those Dragoons is making it really hard for Flash to get anything done here. It's not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Not quite done. There it is. See, now they engage. As soon as that upgrade finishes, he knows. He knows what upgrade is being referred to when the voiceover says upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Now we high ground it. Spider Mine's getting laid inside your natural base is not a good time. Never has been, but high ground Dragoons, yeah, whittling down those Marines. They're not going to fight very well. If they had stim, if they had a +1 attack, they would crush these Dragoons, but they don't. Third base warping in before the natural because of this little guy right here. And Flash is going home. Now, there's no indication for Best that's happening. He doesn't know. They could be sitting on this high ground. They could be sitting on this high ground. They could be parked right here. He doesn't have any vision of this area. They could come and kill this third base. He could have. I kind of feel like if he wandered over here, he could have maybe forced a cancel on the third, but he was a little bit worried, fell back. Wasn't quite sure how many Dragoons would be out here. Didn't know there was only one single gateway because we're going Reavers, baby. That's right. Reaver Time USA is in the house. Engineering Bay getting fired up to deal with the incoming shuttle drops, which are happening this time. So smart by Flash. He checked. He scouted. He did a much better job scouting this game than in the last one. And he's got the intel that he needs to pull this off. Couple of Vultures without speed cruising on down to see if there's a third Nexus here. We're going to Spider Mine up a little bit. Just kidding. We're out of Spider Mines. Someone else is going to have to do that job, I guess. Armory getting tossed on up. And finally, Nexus coming into the natural base, but not until a Reaver's moving out. That's amazing. This is some fast Reaver stuff here. Vultures got into your third base. Oh, gosh. Okay, so at least 3 or 4 probes died there. 31 remain. Shuttle doesn't have speed. It's not getting researched quite yet either. And what do we have to deal with this? Nothing. There's nothing along this top area to deal with a Reaver drop. Oh, gosh, Flash. Flash, no. Flash, I know you have 300 APM right now. But unsieged siege tank, pretty awesome. At dealing with Reaver. Siege tank kind of does better. Zealot unloads. Reaver. What? How? That's a better attempt. Are you serious? Dude, 2 Scarab shots. Nothing. 1 shot on a siege tank, bringing it down to some small HP. But I cannot believe not a single SCV died to that Reaver drop. Those 2 first early shots. Okay, that's 1. There we go. That's what we were waiting for. Ooh, he comes back around and gets a second crack at it. And by golly, at this point, any other damage he gets is just going to be gravy. Just gravy. I mean, losing the Reaver, probably something we don't want to do. Let's not unload here. Let's just get out for now, accept our wins graciously, and we're up 38 to 30 workers. Yep, that 1 hit. Bam, bam, bam. Terrible pathing to get back in that mineral line. Unlucky. Unlucky from Flash. That's the nature of RNG. Sometimes we get the RNG in StarCraft. Not a ton, but low ground to high ground shots are RNG. Scarab shots. Pathing choices. There's a couple things out here that are random. And you try to contain them and try to deal with them as well as you can, but it's hard. It is hard. You're still going to get screwed by it sometimes. Everybody is. Flash just did. Flash just did. Yeah, this is Snow-esque Reaver shenanigans, man. Out in the middle of the map, dealing with vultures as they try to control the map themselves. The Reavers are like, what if we're here? What if we shut you down? How's that sound? How does that make you feel? And the answer is bad. Ah, these vultures actually kind of got lucky there. Dodge, dodge. Good dodging. Hard-walled. Vultures can't get in here. They can park themselves right there and get some shots off on the probes as they return the minerals, though. Yep. That's what we're talking about. A couple probes go down. Dragoons chasing. Citadel of Idun is on the way. I mean, the vultures are getting free hits off. They're doing all right for themselves. Ugh, trying to trigger and fire. Somehow didn't trigger that one. Oh, oh, no damage. Dude, seriously. That was lucky as all get out, too. Zealot legs on the way. Armory coming in. A science facility once again here. We didn't get a science vessel in the last game because I think he couldn't afford it, but probably in this game we'll get it. Hey, Observer, you need to hang out. Ah, no! 4 Dragoons die because the Observer's out of position by like 4 inches. Okay, that was sloppy by best. Did he think he had his obs with his group? Because that was brutal. That is the other side of things with the RNG. I'm not sure if that was RNG. I think that was just him not keeping his Observer with his Dragoon group when he had him. Look, if you're out there, you're trying to clear out spider mines without an Observer yet, fine, that happens sometimes. But, dude, if you have Observers out on the map with ranged Dragoons, that should pretty much never happen. I know there's a billion things you're trying to do right now simultaneously, and you can't do them all perfectly, but 4 Dragoons dying that early is a problem. Upgrades on the way from Flash. He's got a +1 attack. Best is sitting here at a 0/0/0 upgrade with a +1 attack, about 40% done. 3 bases, running well. Shuttle's got speed now. Signs of 3rd base potentially here from Flash. See, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. That's how you take it down. Love parking Reavers at the 3rd base. Just being like, what if you didn't unload here because there were Reavers in the way? Yeah, now we got a turret up here. We're ready for drops now. We're not... Flash was not quite ready for that first one, was he? But 57 to 57 workers. Flash is feeling okay. 4th base coming up the left side from Best. And, you know, I don't know. Science Vessel. Woo! Science Vessel is on the way. Psystorm. At the same time, let the spell casting commence soon. I mean, like, not right now. But soon the spell casting will commence. Love sniping turret up there. Now your shuttles can do even more brazen flybys. Gateway, gateway. No sign of going for carriers here in this game. It's always in a Protoss's back pocket, though. You can't ever forget about it. 1-1 upgrades for the mech. Protoss is at 1-0, working on a +2. Is he going to engage in here? I don't like it. I don't like this position very much for an engagement perspective, but Best certainly does. He drops Zealots in there. The tanks are distracted by the Zealots right on top of him. Another round of Zealots comes busting in here next. Psy Storms blanketing these siege tanks on the right side. The high ground tanks even trying to bust, unloading the Reavers on top of these tanks too. Getting even a couple shots off would be nice. Oh my gosh, he does before the Reavers die. Zealots crushing. What did Tastosis say about Best? Is he the greatest siege tank line breaker in the history of StarCraft? Maybe. That's a huge connection though. Zealots. No, Zealots up in the third base of Flash. Disaster. Disaster approaches. Zealots fighting SCVs. Babies fighting babies. Wait, no, that's not happening. There are no babies. SCV evacuation from the third base entirely. Another round of Zealots is coming. Dragoons are here. D-Matrix on a siege tank. Yeah, that third base is a ghost. I think Best just might give us a quick 2-0. This might be a 2-0. Holy Corella Bob. Best is playing so well here. He's up 136 to 86 supply. He decides, you know what? We don't need to win right now. We did enough damage there. We stopped the mining. We killed so many siege tanks. We are incredibly ahead. Let's not throw stuff away. Let's not throw good away after... or throw good away after good. I just tried to use a saying. I don't think it applies here. Let's not overextend. Let's not throw additional units to the meat grinder when we don't have to. Let's gather up some forces, get some reinforcements all in here, work together, go back, and then put the hammer down. Of course, when it's Flash, you're worried that he's macroing extremely well back home because he is. And he will have another 17 tanks ready to go when you come back in. That would be terrible. But even Flash is only human. Even him with the lost mining time at the third base. Even him with only 3 bases against 5 bases. Well, okay, now there's a 5th base coming in. Yeah, man. Best is curling it. 172 to 114 supply is not even fair. Not even fair that this is what we're looking at here. And in we go to the breach. Zealots leading the charge, as they always do. Not bringing any Zealot bombs at this party, which I think is a mistake. Yeah, I don't know. Best kind of went in there, just threw a bunch of Zealots into a meat grinder and didn't get a lot out of it. 170 to 138 supply now. Yeah, that was not a good engagement. Flash, if he can get the Protoss to do that a couple more times, kind of like his position here. He scans and sees, oh, the Protoss is up there covering this base, huh? Good troop movements there, Best. It's working on Charon boosters. Working on more and more High Templar. Did he storm drop up here? Oh, I think the SCVs got pulled. Still 53 workers here from Flash. I don't think we missed anything big there. But anyway, 184 to 142 supply. Flash is getting up there. He's getting scarier. This little narrow corridor is kind of easy to defend as Terran because you're coming through not exactly a narrow choke. It's wide, but, you know, still a choke of some kind that funnels your units into an area where the tanks are waiting, which is what you want to avoid pretty much at all costs. 185 to 152 supply. Flash is catching up faster than you are remaxing here, Best. Flash is scary. Base down bottom right. Trying to block this ramp with a Dragoon. He knows these Vultures did that run by. Cannon's covering this base. Cannon covering this base. Yeah, there we go. Should be okay. This little Vulture counterattack is incredibly annoying, but it's okay. Another Vulture run by, trying to get some work done here. Is he working on Observer sight range? He sure is. I mean, I guess that's just a result of, I don't know, picking out spider mines a little bit easier maybe. 200 to 166 supply. It's time for Best to go. He needs, I don't think that he needs to engage necessarily as long as he keeps expanding. Yeah, they're going to bust up here, aren't they? They're going to spider mine this Dragoon out of the way. 2 cannons do exist. Or they're just going to bully him. No spider mines at all. Just straight bully this Dragoon down to death. And now all these probes are in a lot of trouble. Wow. A little bit more defense down here would be nice. Several probes died. About 5 of them survived the onslaught. Oh, maybe more than that. 7 of them, possibly. Trying to catch these guys as they're sieging up. Nicely done. Siege tanks, Dragoons, High Templar wandering in here. Really clumped up storms. Clumped up. These siege tanks not spread out in the least. They have to come through this choke too to get out of here, and that's amazing. Double. Woo! Double shielding up there. Excellent job there by Flash. The D-Matrixes are flowing. 53 to 54 total workers in favor of Flash. 155 to 126 supply. Much bigger army for the Protoss, who is trying to gateway man this thing, but we're getting to the point where it's scary. Flash is at 3-2 upgrades. He's expanding to the 12 o'clock for a 4th base. A Nexus at the top right, the best is trying to get, is getting shut down next of all. So we are looking at some major problems here for Best all of a sudden. This is about as good as it's going to get for you. It's not going to get any easier. So if you could kill this base, Protoss fans are hoping that would be nice. Terran hasn't been able to move out, but it doesn't mean he's never going to be able to. Here we go, south to north, charging in, causing the problems. Can he bust it? Best is doing his best to storm through. Zealots still, more Zealots charging on in. Vulture trying to fall back. No, not doing very well. Wow, bunch of tanks out of position to try to deal with this. Best up just invests everything he has into this attack. Comsat station killed. These tanks are fighting, and Flash GG's out 2 games in a row to Best. Best ends up winning the sneaky twofer. That was amazing. What an absolutely fantastic showing there from Best. Way to take down Flash 2-0. I mean, that reverse shot, yep, that was a big part of it. Defending every one of his bases ably in the first 21 minutes, also a big part of it. Getting upgrades with +3, big part of it. Psy storms on clumped up siege tanks, huge part of it. It's all it adds up. It adds up, little pieces here and there, and eventually you get the win as long as you keep making good moves, and Best certainly did. So GG by him. 138,000 points to 115 in favor of Best. We ended up outproducing Best, but getting outkilled by Best by a pretty significant margin there. Buildings raised 5-0 by Best, and the outspend was about 9,000 resources in 21 minutes. And that is the GG. So well done, Best, for our Patreon cast of the week. Incredible stuff there. So JYJ and Shuttle watched Best beat Flash, and that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.